He's like, okay, but I don't know if he's still gonna do it. Yes.
We have a youth services.
What if you talk to somebody there and even if he's not, he can still get help with whatever led to him thinking that before? You know, so that way it's not like you snitching on him, you just really getting him some help. Because he still needs help regardless if he's not gonna do it or not. He's still dealing with something that he needs some help with.
Okay.
That's very true. Ms. O'Neal, I'm gonna take it back.
I mean, the other thing is you get out of it.
So, yeah, make yourself comfortable. Yeah, there should be some registration, not that. Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, I'll put my name.
Good to meet you. All right.
Collective and because they have verbalized things that they can reinforce.
So my question is, we could bring the podium in here, get the mic up, and just kind of stage it in a way that they can come up front, and be at the front of the room and present. And is that too formal, or you?
Shoes a little, shoes be busted sometimes, jeans a little busted, and you gotta go to school with people that come from decent money and, especially when you're young, you compare yourself a lot, right, to other people. And then especially too, depending on the culture that you come from, you might be caught up into materialistic things, thinking that that'll make you feel better. So I was into a lot of that. Started selling drugs at 14 at Mill, even though I was playing point guard for the freshman basketball team, quarterback for the freshman football team. I had so many holes and voids in my life. I didn't go home to hugs and love and, hey, how was your day? And what'd you do at school today? And how's the practice going? It was me standing on that bus stop at Mill alone, right? Cold, it's late, I'm hungry, you get at football practice late. Gotta go home, do homework, gotta catch 2 or 3 talks to get home to the West End. I asked my mother one day, I was like, hey, can you start picking me up from practice? Because she worked 9 to 5. And she said, no, this is something you want to do. And so she didn't know my best friend was already selling crack and trying to get me to it. At first I told him no. But when my mother said, no, this is something you want to do, I felt so empty, so alone, so mad. Like, you know what, forget sports, forget school. I'm going to get money because that's going to fix all my problems. So, I was angry. Was that a healthy way to deal with it? Not at all. Did I talk to anybody? Not at all. So a lot of times we get emotional about stuff and we react, especially us as guys. We don't really talk much at all, fellas, because we so hard and tough and filled with pride. But I encourage you all, especially to open up your mouths and talk. So real quick, got kicked out of Mill, grades dropped, right? They're not having it. Next year I went to Wagner. Some guys in my neighborhood robbed me. I was going to buy a gun to use that as one of my venting sources when I got angry. On the way to buy a gun, I got robbed. The guys that robbed me went to Wagner with me, so I took a machete to school. Yeah, Chase, Friday 13. Yeah, makes no sense, right? Yeah. 10th grade, got a machete. My mother's already found a gun, my first gun. She's found crack, now she's found a machete at school in the locker. Wanted to send me to Butcher. Parents didn't want me to go to Butcher, so they sent me out of town. Long story short, I was caught up in the streets already. Uncle ended up sending me back, even though I went out of town, making an honor roll, walked straight on the basketball team as soon as I hooked up with some guys in the street that I could relate to. Behavior, fell right back into what it had been. Uncle sent me back, had to go to Eastern, and put out of Eastern, still selling drugs, smoking weed now, doing a lot of more things that I was doing. Got sent to Aaron's, still selling drugs, and put out of Aaron's a couple times. 18, got shot, almost died. Had 6 gold teeth in my mouth, permanent, had a few cars before I had my license. Go to the mall every day. I got all this stuff that I thought would make me happy, right? That would solve that anger. I got it now. All my peers are looking at me because I'm shining. I got a car with loud music and tent, right? All the girls that didn't want me, now they wanted me. Had a bunch of new friends, right? It's all fake, it was all a facade. And so I was even more angry than I was at 14 when I started selling crack. because I didn't know who I was. When I looked in the mirror, I was blinded by the gold teeth. I had all this stuff, didn't know who to trust. I was going to jail every other day. It felt like got out of JCYC on my 18th birthday, 12 a.m. Got locked up maybe 6 or 7 more times that year as an adult before I got shot. Today I have a degree from Morehouse College in Atlanta. Before that, I graduated from JCC with African American Student of Excellence Award, Best English Student on Campus Award. Graduated with 3.5 from JCC, then went to Morehouse. Graduated with 3.3, inducted into the John Henry Clark Honor Society. So it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But my friends though, who didn't learn any other tools and didn't try, dead in prison, a lot of them. So I take this work very personally. I get a little too serious about it, some people say, but I know that if we don't learn new tools of how to deal with our anger, especially in our culture, in the Black, the African American culture, it's got to be straight up, right? If we don't really get serious and strategic about it and change the way we respond, because we're killing each other. We talk about the police all we want, we're killing each other at higher rates, and so we have to figure out a way to learn to respect each other and love ourselves and love each other. So, with that being said, we just start off with that question: what can we as youth do differently as an alternative to venting our anger? Because we already listed some things out there that we do when we get mad. Throw shoes. Some people said talk, which is a healthy one. But let's just say when it comes to violence, let's just say that, you know, in the Black community, for instance, right? Somebody bumps into you in the store. How are you supposed to respond?
Just walk away from it.
You two guys, he could be going in the store, you could be coming out, he bumps your shoulder, doesn't say excuse me. And so, you're with your friends. You just gonna let him bump you? You ever heard that? You ever experienced anything like that? Am I making it up? Right? Okay. Might be the ladies too. Hey girl, she just almost knocked your shoulder off. You gonna let her just walk away? Right or wrong? Okay. So then you a punk, you soft, you weak, right? If you don't respond in that manner. And so who ends up winning though? Somebody's suspended, somebody's hurt, maybe both people suspended and hurt. Somebody gets beat up and goes to get a gun. Right. Talk to me. What do you think?
I would just be like, excuse you and walk away.
But does it always happen? See, I told you, I don't always know what to do with good kids, right? Because y'all have me in there stuck. I'm used to being in JCYC, and then they send me to the hardest one because I was one of the worst ones, right? So that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
You know how to respond. You know how to respond. But a lot of your peers don't. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. A lot of time, even in these meetings, we end up with the people that, you know, you guys need it. All youth are at risk, but you guys seem like to be on the right track for the most part. And a lot of the ones that really need it, we can't get them in the room. So we're gonna need y'all to be advocates. You follow me? All right. So tell me, what's some things? Walk away. What else? Somebody bumps you in the hallway and knocks all your books out of your hand. You're already mad when you got to school about something.
I feel like people should go to counselors more, like, and talk about their problems, because, like, especially in, like, the Black community, like, they don't really, like, go to counseling. Like I was against counseling, like, when my friend, like, committed suicide or whatever, my mom, like, made me go to counseling, because, like, I was, like, on edge, like, I was mad all the time and, like, didn't know how to, like, deal with my anger. Like, well, I didn't know why she did that or whatever, so, like, I feel like Black people, well, anybody needs to go to counseling, like, if they have, like, issues that they can't deal with them on their own.
There's a huge stigma and stereotype about counseling in the Black community. A lot do need it, won't go. Number one, two, how many Black mental health service providers do you think we have out here that will be able to, you know, not just come from a book standpoint, but, you know, some stuff is culture specific, right? So, It's another conversation, right?
are, you know, becoming angry at yourself. Let's say because you fail yourself, and I heard, you know, maybe we set too many expectations, or maybe we are looking to please too many people, and because we feel like we can't do everything, you know, we get angry at ourselves. What do you think that you as an individual should do about the pressures that you feel others are imposing on you?
The pressures others are imposing on me. Well, I usually just something I don't want to do, I'll say no.
Okay,
I feel like my expectations for myself are higher than the ones people set for me.
okay. Do your own expectations cause you frustration or anger in any way?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why is that?
Because, I don't know, you feel like you can do it, or you see other people do it and you think you can do it. And if you don't do it, then you just feel like you failed. So, I don't know how you get rid of that.
I think you should try to look at failure a different way. Like instead of making it seem like, you know, you messed up on like you can't like you can't come back from it. Like look at failure as a way of like a learning thing. Like that's a mistake you made, so now you know what not to do with what you did. Like it's a way in a way it kind of helps you like better yourself instead of, you know, instead of beating yourself up over it. Like, you know, try to learn how to do it better. By like, because failure is kind of it's really like more of a learning process than a bad thing. Like I think so. I mean,
You're absolutely right. I mean, because at the end of the day, you don't get anywhere without failing. If you're not failing at something, that means you're probably not stepping out, you're probably not taking risks. And so you're not going to learn to actually get to where you're trying to go if you haven't stepped out and kind of fell on your face a few times. So you're right, like failure isn't, or maybe not even use the word failure. Like, I didn't get it right this time, or I know another way not to do it. So that gives you an opportunity to do it a different way the next time, right? Okay, I like that. And then I remember you talking about your inability to say no and saying yes to everything.
I've learned lately that I can't, and that like to just realize that you can't do everything, and that you have to sometimes say no, but still try to help in ways that you can.
Right, so I mean, prioritize. Like you were saying, there's only so much time in the day. You know, there's only so much you can do. So you can't do everything. And so recognizing the things that you have to do because they're your responsibility to do, recognizing the things that you may want to do, and then those things that people want for you to do, but then prioritizing, scheduling, organizing, and if it doesn't fit, then the answer is no, right? Okay, so anybody else with expectations? What about what you can do about the external expectations? So those expectations that you say are from your parents or your school or people outside of yourself that have all of these pressures on you. What do you think, if anything, you can do about those things?
depends what it is.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. Like if they trying to get you, it's like it depends what it is for real, and what you want for yourself at the same time. Like they trying to get you to do some certain kind of job, profession, and if you don't want to do it, then you don't have to. I think like you can't make nobody do anything. Like so, if you don't want to do it, then I mean, it depends. Like I said, it depends what it is. If you want the best for yourself, like when it comes to like I guess grades and stuff, like I mean, I guess you can just like as long as you tried your best, like that's all that matters for real. At the end of the day, I mean, you should want the best for yourself anyway. And like if it comes to like you're supposed to have a certain job or something, just like think about it if you want to do it. Like who cares what they think? Like in the end, it don't matter. Like if this is your life, like they can't dictate it for you. So I mean, just do you.
Okay. Get an opinion.
Yes. You already see all
Okay. You have anything? No? I know some of y'all. You.
What's the question?
So what do you think, if anything, can be done about the external pressures that people put on you? So whether that's your schools or your parents, or, you know, you guys talked about the unrealistic expectations. What do you think is within your power to do about that?
Like try not to like take it like where it's like too much. Like if it's too much, like tell them that I think it's too much.
So adults at church and adults at community centers. And do you feel like they have that responsibility to help you, or to help youth deal with their anger? Okay. And what about you? Did you have anything else you want to say? What about you?
I just have friends to help me.
Just friends? Okay. So what about, do you have any ideas about why adults don't help you? You don't? Have you ever asked for help from adults? You haven't? And what's the reason behind that?
So what do you feel like adults should have, or what do you think they should do to make you feel comfortable about talking to them, or what should they, like if you're angry, you upset, what's the reason why you get angry?
Because people is messing with my friends.
Okay, so say somebody's messing with your friends, so you upset because that's your homie, you care about them, you don't want nobody to see them mistreat them. So what should an adult, ideally, like in a hypothetical situation, so a made-up situation, what should an adult have to come and help out with that situation? Like what should they do? What type of characteristics or traits should they have? You got a nickname?
Nene.
Nene. So Nene was saying that her parents and grandparents, they give her good advice on ways to handle it. So what's something like that? Even if you don't have an adult in your life that does that, what's something if you did, or would make an adult more appealing to talk to? You don't know?
Do you ever talk to, what's your family situation like at home? Do you live with, like she lives with her mother and her father? Do you live with your mother and father? Do you live with grandparents? Do you live with aunts or uncles? Live with your mother? And what type of relationship do you all have? Is it a good one? Do you like it? Do you think it can be improved?
It can be improved.
It can be improved. What are some of the things that can be improved about your all's relationship?
She can listen to me. She can talk to me more.
She can listen to you and talk to you more. So when you say she can listen to you, do you attempt to talk to your mother and she cuts you off? Or do you attempt to talk to your mother and she ignores you?
Sometimes
Or
she
is it both?
ignores, sometimes she cuts me off.
Okay. So you need her to be attentive to you when you're talking and to listen, like Jasmine talked about her counselor. She listens to her, no interruptions, no judgment. She just listens and lets her say everything she needs to say. That's what you need from your mother. And do you think, so aside from your mother, have you ever attempted to converse with any other adults, like teachers at school, people, I don't know if you go to church, or people, do you attend LCCC as well? Are there adults here that you feel like you have established pretty good relationships that you can talk to, or you haven't reached that point yet? What that mean? You can talk to them? Okay, and so what qualities do they have that makes you feel comfortable with speaking with them?
They're nice.
They're nice. Cool. So you need, so again, well, you so you need niceness. In addition to some of the other things that we just heard, such as listening without being interrupted. Cool. So do you have anything, any input on adults and how they can effectively help you or just youth in general manage their anger?
I think adults can be helpful to youth.
They can be helpful in what ways?
Like, they could, like, they've been through, like, they're older than you, so they've been through more stuff than you. And so they'll help you with the situation they might be in.
So you feel like they should have experience because they're older and they should be able to draw from their experiences to help youth, you know, deal with their situations in better or alternative ways. Anybody else have any other comments on adults? So now we're going to move to other sectors, entities of society, like, you know, educators. So we somewhat mentioned teachers, but, you know, we can talk about the school system, we can talk about the police department, we can talk more in depth about churches, youth serving organizations. So that's what we're going to talk about. So I'll just put it on the table. Out of all those different things that I just mentioned, which one, you know, do you all want to tackle first as far as the organization that you feel like should be, either is doing a lot or should be doing more in helping youth manage anger more effectively?